everyone. Thought we would just do a little casual tutorial. I am in the middle of working on 3 different projects right now, all of which I'm going to be using die cuts from these 2 dies. I love them. They are a layered set, so you can cut the background of them and you can cut these layers out that you can then put on top of it. And I just went a little crazy. As you can see here, I have a ton of them and I love them. They're going to work. I'm going to use a few of them in my Bible journaling. I've got some cards that I want to make, and then I am figuring out some things that I'm going to do for making a wreath. So I just decided to cut a bunch while I was working, and I thought I would turn on the camera and see if you wanted to come along and play while I add some texture to these. Does that sound like a good idea? Who all is here? Hi. Oh, good to see you guys. Okay, so let me tell you what I have cut out so far. You obviously see that I've got some cardstock, and I just picked some fun fall colors. In fact, I think I pulled all of these from a pack that I got at Joann's. So they were just nice fall colors. I have also cut some vellum out, which I think is going to be really fun to work with because it gives it a nice tone-on-tone effect, don't you think? Very fun. And if you follow me with Bible journaling, you know that I have been blessed to have been given by the publisher of the Bible that I like to use. They had some pages that had been printed imperfectly and they could not bind them into Bibles. And so they sent those to me so that I could use them to test out things. And I thought it'd be fun to use some of those as well to try out some different mediums on. So here are a couple of things that I want to do. I think I'm going to use some distress ink. And with the distress ink, I want to try a little stamping. And I have a stamp set. If I can find, if the box is within reach, I'll see if I can find it. I'm not putting my hands on it right this minute. But what it is these, they're kind of these watercolor marks. Let me see if I can't stamp one and show you what it looks like. They're really cool. If you wanted to just kind of give a watercolor effect to a background or something, can you see how they're imperfect shapes? They kind of look like if you had used your watercolored brush and done that. So I think that's going to be fun, but I want to add color with that. I also am going to do some embossing. Have any of you all ever done stamped embossing at all? Can you give me some hearts to let me see if that's something you're familiar with? At least one of you has done this before. 2 of you have done this before. This is awesome. Well, we can stamp, and I thought we would stamp some of them with the partial ink, and then I'm going to try dipping. We're going to do some, you know how those really cool necklaces have dipped leaves, like they've been dipped in gold? Well, I love copper for fall, so I thought we might do some dipped leaves. And why don't we start there? I think that might be a fun thing to do. So for that, I'm just going to use Versamark ink right here. And I'm going to open that up. And yes, that is a brand new Versamark pad. I have to tell you, this may be the first and only time that you see it quite that pristine. It is not at all normally that way. And I am using some Zing, let's see if we can get it to focus there, Zing embossing powder in copper by American Crafts. Really any would do. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to dip my leaf in, and I like that can you see how it's a little imperfect on there? And let's just go over here and dump some embossing powder on it. And we'll heat it up. So I'm thinking we're going to do these as casual tutorials. I'm just going to turn it on and see what turn the camera on, go live, see what we get. And I have now figured out how to actually archive them over on YouTube. That will take me about 24 hours after it's gone live, which this is only my second one, so I'm just now learning what is and isn't possible with Periscope. And I really should have tweezers for this. I'm going to try and not burn my... Okay, I don't have tweezers where I am, but I do have some pliers. So we'll make do. We'll use the pliers instead. So you all had a good day. I hope you've had good days wherever you are. It is actually beginning to feel a little bit like fall here, which is what kind of inspired me on this. So there, I've got a dipped leaf. How cool is that? And if I were to come in with one of these book pages and put the book page on top of that, wouldn't that be kind of fun? I think I could actually really kind of love that. Okay, let's see what happens when we do some vellum, okay? So I've got vellum here, and this is a thicker kind. Oh, yay, thank you. So this is a little bit thicker vellum. You can get, I get it from Paper Tray Ink, but you can get, just make sure that it's not that super, super, super thin. And I'm going to do kind of that same thing. I'm just going to touch it down into here. And now all I've got to do is come over here and just dip, I think. And because I've got a little on the front and a little on the back, I'm going to just go ahead and do both of those. If you're going to use embossing on vellum, you want to go ahead and have your heat gun already hot. You don't want to spend a lot of time heating it up, so I'm going to hold it over here and let it kind of heat up while I'm telling you this. So this dye that I'm using is from Paper Tray Ink. It was part of their August release, I believe. Yes, it was part of the August release, and it comes in these two sizes, which I think for the projects that I'm working on, I think is going to be really nice. I have to say, I also think that kind of looks like a feather. I think I could make feathers out of those if I wanted to. So anyway, I have those, and now that my heat gun is heated up, let's try the copper on here. Let's see if I can get it out here in the light where you can see it. You can see because it was hot, I didn't have to wait very long. Very, very, very cool. Oh my. Okay, let's find something pretty to put that against. Just grab one of these burgundy ones. I think that's going to be pretty together. I think that's okay. I gotta say, I'm kind of loving this. I am kind of loving it. Okay, I'm not going to make you watch me do every single one of those, but I thought, okay, you know, I can't help it. I told you I thought that this looked like a feather. My brain is just kind of going nuts. I want to see if I can kind of turn it into a feather. Is your brain like that? You see something, you go, oh, that could be something else. I don't think that I have, I don't know what I have. My brain is funny. Excellent. Oh, yay. See, you're validating my bizarre behavior, and I sure appreciate that. you know, when I get an idea in my head, I want to see if it works right then. And if it does, I love it. If not, it's no biggie. It was just an idea, right? And it's just paper. But of course, you know, now I want to do a dipped feather. So not even part of the project, right? Oh, you know, these CAD tutorials may not be, you all are going to see that I'm kind of, look at our feather there. I am so loving that. Okay, you're going to see that I'm kind of an odd duck. That I bet you thought that I sat down and it just kind of happened. But bizarre things happen when I sit down. So let's get a little embossing on here. I may not have put enough ink on there. We'll see. And I don't want to leave you to go get my tweezers, so I'm using these wire cutters. Okay. I think what I need to do is actually put that against something, because that Bible paper is really, really, really thin. So I'm going to put it, and I've only made it worse by cutting it to be a feather. But it should melt up pretty quickly. Okay, that's very fun. And if I were taking time and perfecting the technique, I would have tweezers, and I might dip it before I cut it. I don't know, but I think that could be really fun. Okay, I've got to get back to my intended plan here. Okay, one of the things that I wanted to do was to take some ink and stamp on just a little bit on these leaves, just to kind of make them look like there's a brush of, this is another one of those watercolor stamps. It's got that really lovely uneven area on it, and I just want to just put a little bit of that on there so that the background isn't just solid color. So then when you layer something on top of it, even the background has a little variation on it as well. And because I'm putting book paper on it, it's already textured. So we've got a lot of options here. And I'm just going to do a couple more. And then you can come see what, hey there, then you can come see what I end up doing. I'm going to do the full tutorial on YouTube here. It'll probably be a couple days before it's out, but that will let you kind of see where these things end up. I just was going to do a little bit of getting these ready for that tutorial, and I thought, oh, it's going to take me. Do that. I'm going to do this one, and then I will sign off. If you will, if you'll let me know if you are enjoying casual tutorials, either over on Facebook, or you can follow me on Instagram or wherever you happen to find me. I would love to hear if this is something that you're enjoying, or if I need to come up. Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Really, really appreciate it. I love that I can come and interact with you a little bit, and we're going to try and find some times that work well with everybody, and we'll just set them up, and we'll come back and we'll do a little bit, and then you can hop off and continue on with whatever you're doing for your day. I sure appreciate you guys. Love you. Thanks for stopping by. See you soon. I think this thing I can do it really often. Take care. I'll see you later.